Deal TV, learn and earn.
John Magufuli. John Palm Joseph Magufuli was born on October 29, 1959 and died on March 17, 2021 was a Tanzanian politician who served as the fifth president of Tanzania from 2015 until his death in 2021. He served as Minister of Works, Transport and Communication from 2000 to 2005 and 2010 to 2015 and was chairman of the Southern African Development Community from 2019 to 2020. First elected as a Member of Parliament in 1995, he served in the Cabinet of Tanzania as Deputy Minister of Works from 1995 to 2000, Minister of Works from 2000 to 2005, Minister of Lands and Human Settlement from 2006 to 2008, Minister of Livestock and Fisheries from 2008 to 2010, and as Minister of Works for a second time from 2010 to 2015. Running as the candidate of Chama cha Mapinduzi (CCM), the country's dominant party, Magufuli won the October 2015 presidential election and was sworn in on November 5, 2015. He was re-elected in 2020. He ran on a platform of reducing government corruption and spending while also investing in Tanzania's industries but was accused of having had increasingly autocratic https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/autocracy tendencies seen in restrictions on freedom of speech and a crackdown on members of the political opposition. Magufuli was known for promoting a divergent view https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/covid19_ misinformation about COVID-19 during his leadership over the pandemic in Tanzania. After a lengthy absence from public appearances, unconfirmed rumors circulated that he, himself, had been hospitalized with the disease. His death on March 17, 2021 was attributed to a long-standing heart issue by the government. His education. Magufuli started his education at the Chato Primary School from 1967 to 1974 and went on to the Kadok Seminary in Biharamulo for his secondary education from 1975 to 1977 before relocating to Lake Secondary School in 1977 and graduating in 1978. He joined Mkwawa High School for his advanced level studies in 1979 and graduated in 1981. That same year he joined Mkwawa College of Education, a constituent college of the University of Dar es Salaam, for the Diploma in Education Science, majoring in Chemistry, Mathematics, and Education. Magufuli earned his Bachelor of Science in Education degree, majoring in Chemistry and Mathematics as teaching subjects from the University of Dar es Salaam in 1988. He also earned his master's and doctorate degrees in chemistry from the University of Dar es Salaam in 1994 and 2009, respectively. In late 2019, he was awarded an honorary doctorate by the University of Dodoma for improving the economy of the country. His early life and political career. Magufuli ventured into elective politics after a short period as a teacher at the Sengerema Secondary School between 1982 and 1983. He taught chemistry and mathematics. Later on, he quit his teaching job and was employed by the Nyanza Cooperative Union Limited as an industrial chemist. He remained there from 1989 to 1995, when he was elected as Member of Parliament, MP, representing Chato District. He was appointed Deputy Minister for Works in his first term as MP. He retained his seat in the 2000 election and was promoted to a full ministerial position under the same docket. After President Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete was requested to take office, he moved John Joseph Magufuli to the post of Minister of Lands and Human Settlement on January 4, 2006. Subsequently, he served as Minister of Livestock and Fisheries from 2008 to 2010 and again as Minister of Works from 2010 to 2015. On July 12, 2015, Magufuli was nominated as CCM's presidential candidate for the 2015 election, after winning a majority vote in the final round of the primary over two opponents, Justice Minister and former United Nations Deputy Secretary-General Asha Rose Magiro, and the African Union Ambassador to the United States of America. Although Magufuli faced a strong challenge from opposition candidate and previous CCM political party member Edward Lowassa in the election, held on October 25, 2015, Magufuli was declared the winner by the National Electoral Commission (NEC). On 29 October, he received 58% of the vote. His running mate, Samia Suluhu, was also declared vice president. He was sworn in on November 5, 2015. 2020 presidential election. In July 2020, Magufuli was nominated as the CCM's presidential candidate in elections scheduled for October 2020. His nomination was not opposed after the expulsion from the party earlier in the year of Bernard Membe, a former foreign minister who had planned to challenge the nomination. He received the highest votes and was therefore re-elected to extend his presidency until 2025 for a second term. According to Al Jazeera, the election was marred by allegations of arrests of candidates and protesters, restrictions on agents of political parties to access polling stations, multiple voting, pre-ticking of ballots, and widespread blocking of social media. A local elections watchdog group noted a heavy deployment of military and police whose conduct created a climate of fear. Presidency. After taking office, Magufuli immediately began to impose measures https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/austerity to curb government spending, such as barring unnecessary foreign travel by government officials, using cheaper vehicles and boardrooms for transport and meetings respectively, shrinking the delegation for a tour of the Commonwealth from 50 people to 4, dropping its sponsorship of the World AIDS Day exhibition in favor of purchasing AIDS medication, and discouraging lavish events and parties by public institutions, such as cutting the budget of a state dinner inaugurating the new parliamentary session. Magufuli reduced his own salary from $15,000 to $4,000 per month. Magufuli suspended the country's Independence Day festivities for 2015, in favor of a national cleanup campaign to help reduce the spread of cholera. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/cholera. He personally participated in the cleanup efforts, having stated that it was so shameful that we are spending huge amounts of money to celebrate 54 years of independence when our people are dying of cholera. The cost savings were to be invested in improving hospitals and sanitation in the country. On December 10, 2015, more than a month after taking office, Magufuli announced his cabinet. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/Magufuli_cabinet. Its size was reduced from 30 ministries to 19 to help reduce costs. On April 12, 2016, Magufuli conducted his first foreign visit to Rwanda, where he met his counterpart Paul Kagame and inaugurated the new bridge and one-stop border post at Rusumo. Magufuli also attended the memorial for the 22nd anniversary of the Rwanda genocide. In July 2016, Tanzania banned shisha. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/hookah smoking, with Magufuli citing its health effects among youth as the reason. In March 2017, Tanzania banned the export of unprocessed ores, in an effort to encourage domestic smelting. In January 2018, Magufuli issued a directive ordering the suspension of registration for foreign merchant ships, following recent incidents surrounding the seizure of overseas shipments of illegal goods, particularly drugs and weapons, being transported under the flag. Tanzania and Zanzibar had gained reputations for being flags of in the same year. He introduced a free education for all the government schools in 2016 without paying fees. The country has amended the laws governing the award of mining contracts, giving itself the right to renegotiate or terminate them in the event of proven fraud. The new legislation also removes the right of mining companies to resort to international arbitration. The tax dispute with Acacia Mining, accused of having significantly undervalued its gold production for years, finally resulted in an agreement. Tanzania obtained 16% of the shares in the mines held by the multinational. In May 2020, Acacia Mining paid $100 million to the government to end dispute as the first tranche of the $300 million. However, this anti-corruption policy has also frightened investors, who now fear they will have to deal with Tanzanian justice and weakened growth, according to Zitto Kabwe, one of the leaders of the opposition Alliance for Change and Transparency, ACT. With one of the highest economic growth rates on the African continent, 5.8% in 2018 and an estimated 6% for 2019 according to the IMF, the Tanzanian government is embarking on a vast program of infrastructure development, particularly rail infrastructure. The small fishing port of Bagamoyo, to which $10 billion of investment has been allocated, is expected to become the largest port in Africa by 2030. Infrastructure. Magufuli's government worked on various infrastructure projects targeting economic development. Projects include the addition of half a dozen Air Tanzania planes as a way of reviving the national carrier, the expansion of Terminal 3 of Julius Nyerere International Airport, construction of Tanzania Standard Gauge Railway, Mfugale Flyover, Julius Nyerere Hydropower Station, Ubungo Interchange, New Cylinder Bridge, Kigongo Buzizi Bridge, Huduma Borazefa, Vichuo Borazefa, expansion of Port of Dar es Salaam, Dodoma Bus Terminal, Liquefied Natural Gas Plant, Water Project, Wind Farm Project, Ura Hospital Project, Gold Refinery Plant, and Magufuli Bus Terminal. Magufuli received the nickname the Bulldozer in reference to his roadworks projects, but the term was also used about his moves to reduce spending and corruption within the government. Following Magufuli's initial rounds of cuts post-inauguration, the hashtag #WhatWouldMagufuli was used by Twitter. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/Twitter users to demonstrate their own austerity measures inspired by the president. Human rights. Magufuli's government was accused of repressing opposition to his leadership, including laws restricting opposition rallies, the suspension of the Swahili language Mwaio newspaper in 2016 for publishing false and inflammatory reporting regarding the nullification of election results in Zanzibar, threatening to shut down radio and television stations that do not pay license fees, and a 2018 bill requiring blogs and other forms of online content providers to hold government licenses with content restrictions. A devout Roman Catholic, he was publicly criticized by the Tanzania Episcopal TEC for taking measures that suppress constitutional freedoms and, in the view of the bishops, represent a threat to national unity. LGBTQ intimidation and abuses. People convicted of same-sex liaisons in Tanzania can be jailed for up to 30 years. In October 2016, the government banned HIV/AIDS outreach projects and closed U.S.-funded programs that provide HIV testing, condoms, and medical care to the gay community. The countrywide closure of private HIV clinics began soon afterward. In late 2018, Magufuli initiated a nationwide crackdown, threatening to arrest and deport anyone campaigning for gay rights and making it difficult to find a lawyer who will defend cases of violence against LGBTQ. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/LGBT Paul Mukunda, Magufuli's regional commissioner for Dar es Salaam, stated in 2016, if there's a homosexual who has a Facebook account, or with an Instagram account, all those who follow him, it is very clear that they are just as guilty as the homosexual. 2 years later, He announced that a committee of 17 members consisting of police, lawyers and doctors had been formed to identify homosexuals. Within one day of the announcement, authorities reportedly received 5,763 messages from the public, with more than 100 names. Hamaisi Kigwangala, the country's deputy health minister, said he supports the use of anal exams to prove whether someone is having gay sex. The test is widely considered to be a violation of human rights by medical experts. Health. Birth control. In September 2018, Magufuli told a rally, "Those going for family planning are lazy. They are afraid they will not be able to feed their children. They do not want to work hard to feed a large family, and that is why they opt for birth controls and end up with 1 or 2 children only." He urged people not to listen to those advising about birth control, some of it coming from foreigners, because it has sinister motives. The statement has drawn criticism from Amnesty International and others. In July 2019, Magufuli urged women to set your ovaries free. COVID-19. Magufuli had a different view on COVID-19 and vaccination during the pandemic in Tanzania. Magufuli spoke against the possibility of closing churches, stating, "That's where there is true healing. Corona is the devil and it cannot survive in the body of Jesus." By May 2020, Magufuli and Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner Paul Makonda announced that the disease had been defeated by national prayer, and called for a public celebration. "The corona disease has been eliminated thanks to God," Magufuli told the church congregation in Dodoma. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/Dodoma, the country's capital. The World Health Organization, WHO, has questioned the government's approach to COVID-19. Magufuli instructed security forces to blindly test coronavirus PCR test kits for quality on goats, papaya, sheep, and motor oil. All of them, he said, had been found to be positive for COVID-19. The last official data on the coronavirus in Tanzania was published in late April. Magufuli had dismissed the head of the national laboratory, and the distribution of non-governmental information on the spread of the virus had become a crime. He disputed the effectiveness of face masks and testing. Magufuli believed that vaccinations are dangerous. If white people were able to come up with vaccinations, a vaccination for AIDS would have been found. Instead, Magufuli urged steam remedies and herbal medicine. Death. Magufuli had not been seen in public since 27 February, and rumors swirled online that he was sick and possibly incapacitated from illness. A Kenyan newspaper reported on March 10, 2021 that an African leader was being treated for COVID-19 at a hospital in Nairobi, leading to speculation that it could be President Magufuli. Opposition politician Tundu Lissu, citing unnamed sources but without providing evidence, said that he had heard that it was Magufuli who had contracted COVID-19 and was hospitalized. On the night of March 17, 2021, Vice President Samia Suluhu announced Magufuli had died at 6 p.m. East African time at Emilio Mzina Memorial Hospital in Dar es Salaam, where he was receiving treatment. She did not specify Magufuli's underlying illness but said that he had suffered from chronic atrial fibrillation for more than a decade. She announced 14 days of national mourning and said that flags would fly at half-staff nationwide. Personal life. He was married to Janeth Magufuli, a primary school teacher, with whom he had 3 children.
Deal TV, learn and earn.